So I want to make sure that the conditions haven't changed, because honestly, what just happened doesn't make sense. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And if you watch some of my latest videos, you know that I just purchased this beautiful Trek Speed Concept. And this is the TT version, and that is because I'm planning to race, well, not planning, I'm already signed up. I'm gonna be racing Florida Time Trial Championships in beginning of April 6th, which is less than a month away. So today I'm out here at this road that I normally come train on. There's not many cars, it's very quiet. The pavement is like absolutely perfect. And I'm gonna be doing some type of, I guess we can call it aero testing, or just a little fun experiment. And I thought I'd bring you guys along for it. So I just got this beautiful Medrone TT helmet. So we're gonna be putting this to the test along with this Specialized Evade helmet. Now the TT helmet, I'm gonna be wearing it just how it comes, how you saw it. This one, I'm gonna wear it just as I would if I was out on a ride, which would be with the sunglasses on. And then, so this is a Road Aero helmet. And then we're gonna be also comparing that to this casque, which you can see is vented, a lot of holes in it. So that should mean that it's slower. Now, would it be? I don't know. That's gonna be the fun part. So the idea behind it is I'm gonna be doing 3 10-minute runs, and I think 10 minutes is long enough to actually tell us the difference if there is any. And I know TT helmets are very specific to like your body and things like that, but it's a lot of cars going by now. It's very specific to like body type, but I'm not a pro. I'm not going out to wind tunnels and doing testing or anything like that. So I'm out here today, and I thought I'd bring you guys along for it. I think it's gonna be a really, really fun experiment. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think will be first, second, and third? That might be pretty easy to figure out, to be honest. So what would you think be the difference between the TT, the Road Aero, and the Road Vented? I'm gonna go get my warm-up done and get all the throw efforts done, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so first test with the TT helmet done. And one of the first things I noticed is, although you have these holes, these vents right here on the front, it is so freaking hot inside this helmet, especially here in Florida. I mean, it is really hot right now, and how humid it is. Really like this magnetic visor. And I don't know if you could tell in the video, but there's like sweat all over the visor. And the second thing I noticed is, although I'm wearing my AirPods Pro, it is really, really loud inside this helmet. And so I chose to go this way because there is a massive headwind, and it's a little bit like yaw. It's not completely like a headwind. I'll put a clip so you guys can see going that way, doing 310 watts, which is what I was trying to average for each run. I was going 23.9, 24, 24.5 miles an hour, which was insane. And then coming back with 160 watts, I was doing like 24, like the same speed with half the watts. So the reason why I chose to do it that way is because of that, because I seen like in wind tunnels and stuff, they test I like yaw angles and into a headwind, because honestly the tailwind is the easy part of a TT. So obviously I don't want to test going 30 plus miles an hour with a tailwind. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm going into a headwind, which is really, really hard to just stay on the road. Like, you're like all over the place. It is very, very hard. And every time the wind pushes you, you have to hang on, and then you have to back off the power a little bit. So, but it's all real world, right? You're not in a wind tunnel where everything is perfect. You're out in the real world where I'm most likely going to be what's most likely going to be happening when I'm out at the Florida State Time Trial course. But now I'm going to test the Evade Specialized helmet with the glasses, just like I would wear if I was out on a regular ride. And I'll catch you guys after the run. All right, guys, Evade test done. One of the big things, I could tell that, I'm not gonna spoil the results, but it was very interesting. So now I'm gonna test this casque. You can see it's really vented. a very common helmet to wear here in Florida just because it's so hot. Now I could tell that that was so much better as far as like cooling, and like you don't sweat. Like I'm not even like sweaty just with the glasses because the wind hits you in the face and it just it cools you down so much better. But the detriment is the fact that this this line from the glasses is right in your eyes. When you're on that TT position, you have to bring your head up once in a while to be able to look forward, or you just can't really see anything, and that slows you down a lot. And I think that's going to make a huge difference. I think the biggest difference, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, let me go set this puppy out and I'll catch you guys right after. All right, guys, so that is road vented helmet done. And this doesn't make sense. I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah, I don't think it's making sense. So what I'm gonna do is, I was supposed to be done right now, but I'm gonna do one more run. And that's gonna be with the TT helmet, just for the reason that this is the helmet that I started with. And there was about a 10-minute interval in between each helmet. So from this helmet to the last one I just did, there's been like about a 30-minute interval. It's freaking windy. So I want to make sure that the conditions haven't changed, because honestly, that what just happened doesn't make sense. So I'm going to go out on the TT helmet once again for the 4th time, and I'm going to try and match exactly what I did the first run. And then if I can compare those 2 runs and they're pretty close or close enough, then I'll know the conditions haven't changed that much. So let me go do one last run, because this is not it's not making sense. I don't know the exact numbers, but I don't know, the feeling, gut feeling tells me this does not make sense. So let me go do the last run and I'll catch you guys in a bit.
All right, guys, so let's go over the results real quick. And as you saw, I had to do another test with the TT helmet at the end, because honestly what happened did not make sense. So let's start with the first run. That was with the TT helmet. That was 9 minutes 33 seconds at 308 watts, and I averaged 24.3 miles an hour. And I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see all that I'm talking about. So that was the first run. The second run was on the Road Aero helmet, and that with the Evade, and that was 10 minutes 3 seconds at 306 watts, where I averaged 23.1 miles an hour. That is a huge difference. That is 30 seconds over a 10-minute period, which is insane, right? So then going into the vented helmet, I was like, wow, this is going to be a lot slower. Well, yeah, I cannot explain this, guys. With the vented helmet, I did 9 minutes 39 at 24 miles an hour with 305 watts. So I averaged 1 watt less than with the Road Aero and 3 watts less than with the TT, and it was only what is it, like 5 seconds or 6 seconds slower than the TT helmet, which seems more apart. That's what I was expecting for the Road Aero helmet to be, but it was faster than the Road Aero helmet by like 24 seconds. That did not make sense. So in my head I was like, all right, maybe the conditions change since I did those other 2 runs. So let me go out once again on the TT helmet just to compare, and if everything is close enough, then I'll know that the conditions haven't changed. So I once again went out on the TT helmet, where I did 9 minutes 37 at 307 watts and 24.1 miles an hour. So still 2 seconds faster than the vented helmet, but I mean, it is on the margin of error compared to the first run. So the conditions could have changed, my position could have changed, but it's only 4 seconds slower than the first run I did on the TT. So it wasn't a huge difference. And honestly, that's why I'm saying it does not make sense, because if anything, the last run on the TT helmet was 4 seconds slower than it was on the first run. So that meant that the vented helmet, that if the conditions got change, it was to the worse, not to the better. So the vented helmet should not be faster than the Road Aero, or even be that close to the TT helmet, to be honest. And yeah, I know this was only over a 10-minute run. So let's say if you were doing like a 20k, or let's say a 40k TT, like I'm going to be doing at Florida State, and let's say that took me 50 minutes, or actually say that'll take me an hour. So the difference between the TT helmet and the vented helmet over an hour, that would have still been like 30 seconds or so, which is honestly what I was expecting. What did not make sense was the Road Aero helmet. I cannot explain that. I was expecting that helmet to be way faster than the vented helmet was. So conditions didn't seem to change much, and if they did, was to the worse, not to the better, because the TT helmet on the last run, like I said, it was slower than it was on the first run. So yeah, guys, I cannot explain this one, and that's just how it works. Sometimes you go into this kind of like test and things that you're doing to kill your curiosity, and you end up leaving with more questions than you had when you started. So if you guys can explain what happened, aside from the only thing I could think of is like the conditions, but that still doesn't make any sense. I think my position, I kept it pretty standard across all of them, of course, as much as you can, being different helmets and having to lift your head up a little bit more. And that's the other thing I was thinking, like with the Evade, maybe I had to lift my head a little bit more than I did with the Road vented helmet, because it sits a little bit higher in your head. But aside from that, I honestly have no idea how this happened, guys. So go down in the comments, and if you have any theory, or what do you think, something that could have happened, that, or maybe just the GPS signal was bad. But it's so weird that all the other tests were pretty much spot on from what I was expecting, aside from the Road Aero. So like I said, guys, no idea, but I was expecting that helmet to be way closer to the TT helmet and a lot faster than the Road vented helmet.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for this one. Let me know in the comments down below if the results was what you guys were expecting. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share. It helps me get the channel out there and hopefully make more fun videos like this one. I got a few companies that reached out to me, and I got some products on the way which are going to be really, really interesting. Now, another thing that I would love to do is get a disc wheel. I think a disc wheel will make a really, really big difference. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get a hold of one yet, but if I do, you can be sure I'll make a video about it, just like we did about the helmet today. So with that out of the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.